You ever look at a picture from another planet and just stop and wonder, how? I mean, seriously, how do we build something so complicated, so precise, that it can fly for millions of miles and then just work? Well, it's not magic. It's an absolutely brilliant process. So let's break down how NASA engineers the impossible.
Look at this. Just look at it. That is a selfie taken by the Curiosity rover on Mars. This isn't a movie set. It's a real engineering marvel, a robot geologist doing its thing about 140 million miles away from anyone who could fix it. Mind-blowing.
So that's the big question, right? It's one thing to sketch a cool idea on a whiteboard. It's another thing entirely to turn that drawing into a real piece of hardware sitting on another world. What's the secret sauce?
Well, it's not some single flashy breakthrough. The real answer is a framework called systems engineering. You can think of it as the ultimate project plan for building something incredibly complex. It's the playbook that ensures every last bolt, wire, and line of code all work together perfectly. It's how NASA turns science fiction into actual science fact. Think of this as NASA's master blueprint for success. It's a way of working, a way of thinking that makes sure every single one of the millions of details, from the giant rocket down to the tiniest microchip, is accounted for. And right at the heart of that blueprint is something called the project lifecycle. This is the official roadmap. Every single mission, no matter how big or small, has to follow it. It's how you take an impossibly huge goal and break it down into manageable, step-by-step pieces.
Now, this whole journey is divided into 7 very distinct phases, and each one has its own mission, its own hurdles to clear, and its own set of make-or-break decisions.
And here it is, the whole roadmap laid out. It starts way back in pre-phase A with just ideas, pure concepts. Then it moves all the way through designing, building, launching, and finally running the mission in phases E and F. So let's look at how an idea actually becomes a machine.
So these early phases, they're all about answering a huge question. Something like, hey, could we actually land a robot the size of a small car on Mars and turning that into a real, concrete plan?
It all flows in a really logical way. Pre-phase A is basically dreaming out loud, just brainstorming. Then, in phase A, the engineers have to figure out if the tech they need even exists. And if it doesn't, well, they have to invent it. By the time you get through phase B, you have a solid preliminary blueprint for the whole mission. And then you hit phase C. This is where things get real. Designs get locked in, and people start actually cutting metal and building the hardware. I mean, look at this. This picture shows you the insane level of precision we're talking about. Every single one of those golden mirrors for the James Webb Telescope was born in this super intense, super careful phase.
But, it's not like you just finish one phase and high-five your way into the next one. There is so much pressure. At the end of every single stage, the project has to go through what's called a gate review. It's this grueling deep dive where experts decide if you're really ready to move on. If you pass, great. If you fail, your billion-dollar project could get sent right back to the drawing board or just get canceled. Period.
Okay, so this brings up a huge question that has to be on every engineer's mind the entire time. How do you double-check your work when your work is a one-of-a-kind, irreplaceable spacecraft?
Seriously, think about that. You've got billions of parts. They all have to work together perfectly, most of them for the very first time, in literally the most hostile environment humans can imagine. How in the world do you make sure you haven't missed a single thing?
Well, the answer comes down to 2 ideas that sound really similar but are totally different: verification and validation. They ask 2 fundamentally different questions, and you absolutely have to get both of them right to succeed.
All right, so verification. This is all about the nitty-gritty details. Let's say you're building a house. Verification is checking that the wiring meets the safety code, that the pipes don't leak, that the window is exactly the size the blueprint says it should be. It's asking for every single component. Did we build this thing exactly the way we designed it?
Validation, though, that's the big picture. You can verify that every single part of the house is perfect, but validation asks, yeah, but is it a good house? Does it keep the family warm and safe? For NASA, it's the ultimate question. We've built the whole spacecraft. Does it actually accomplish the mission we sent it to do out there in the cold, dark vacuum of space? See the difference?
So after years, literally years of designing, building, and all that checking, you finally get to the payoff. These are the stages everyone sees, the ones that are both thrilling and absolutely nerve-wracking.
Welcome to Phase D.
This is where all those separate, verified parts finally meet each other for the first time. They're all assembled, they're integrated, and then they're put through some absolutely brutal tests, like this splashdown test for the Orion capsule. They're trying to simulate everything from the bone-rattling violence of a launch to the harshness of deep space.
And all of that leads right up to the grand finale, the roar of the launch, the nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat tension of mission operations, where every single blip of data from deep space feels like a huge victory. It's the culmination of everything.
And so, in the end, it all comes down to this. On the left, you've got the blueprint, the plan, the logic, the incredibly detailed idea. And on the right, you've got the reality. A beautiful, complex working machine that is out there pushing the very edge of what we know.
This process, this systems engineering, this whole project lifecycle, it's really more than just a management technique. It's the engine. It's the thing that reliably turns our wildest imaginations into actual, tangible exploration.
So the method is there. It's been proven time and time again to work. It's how we achieved the impossible. We used it to get to Mars. So the only question left to ask is, what impossible thing are we going to build next?